What's up, everybody? I'm gonna give it like a minute, wait for people to get in. I think we're gonna talk about weight loss. Talk about a few things that I guess you could say people don't normally talk about. It's kind of what I do here, or just talk about the obvious things that you need to do that we're just not doing. But you know, that's another thing as well. Just doing what we know we need to do. We always talk about how we don't have time to do it, but we know we do. You know, you got 20 minutes to work out. Stop lying to yourself. We're gonna give it about like 10 more seconds. Today we're gonna go over weight loss, how to lose weight, the most efficient ways, things that people don't normally talk about. All right, so first and foremost, what I've recognized, and this is from my perspective and my clients over the years, occupying your mind for one, because you know when you're bored and you eat out of boredom. When you have a a schedule or a routine or whatever it may be, you can always, you know, get through the day. And you may stop to get something to eat, whatever the case may be, but you're not binge eating day in and day out. When you don't have a schedule or a routine, whatever the case may be, you tend to replace those, I guess you could say, time slots with eating. So we do that a lot. So there's one thing right there. Also, when it comes to like with that situation as well, you don't want to be on the opposite side of the spectrum where, say, you're just always busy and you're never eating. That's not a good way to also, to lose weight. We want to go over healthy ways that you can, lose weight, not not shortcuts that are gonna end up hurting you in the long run. The next one is gonna be water. So many of us, we believe that we're hungry, but realistically we're thirsty. So I would say drink some water first, and don't just gulp the water. Maybe sip it a little bit first. We usually always tend to gulp water. So, but I would say at first start with the sips. Maybe wait a little bit, drink water for like over a period of 30 minutes. See how you feel. I would say also add Celtic salt if you can, but Himalayan sea salt will be fine as well. Uh, Maybe a little sprinkle because that'll give you the electrolytes your body needs, rather than drinking something like Gatorade, which is like a copy of that, the water with salt in it. Um, yeah, so there's that. The next one will be meditation. One thing I've noticed when I was doing my fast was it was easier for me to get through this hunger or this addiction, I guess you could say, because I've noticed recently too, since I'm looking to gain some weight to do just to test something out. I'm gonna gain like 15 to 20 pounds, um, and I've noticed I don't. Since I told myself I'm gonna eat more, because I usually just drink a smoothie and have one meal, I find myself like being addicted to food, like just longing for the next meal. And it's crazy because usually when that happens, I usually just fast and I put myself through that period, knowing the way my body functions. So I wanna really test that out again after I deal with this whole gaining situation. But yeah, so with the meditation, I've noticed it's helped me get through that withdrawal period, I guess you could say, because this kind of like is an addiction. Not kind of, it just is. We just don't look at it that way. But and once you pass that phase, it's like you feel more free. I don't. It's hard to explain. You have to go through it yourself, honestly. But that's something that That's if you can withstand that, then there's always something better on the other side. Uh, I would recommend fasting for everyone that wants to try it. Just different types of fasting, which is also another one. Fruit fasting. Fruit fast for me would be, I'd say, the easiest way for you to obtain what you need nutrition wise and still be able to, have your body flushing, not just breaking down meat and and all types of you know extra stuff. And I'm not saying don't eat meat. Just like I say every time, I'm saying eat in moderation. That's what we all need to do, especially here in America. We don't eat in moderation. We don't eat we don't eat meat in moderation. We don't eat carbs in moderation. We don't really do anything in moderation. So that's something that we also need to work on. And that, to me, fruit fasting is by far the easiest way for me to fast because it gives you room. Like for instance, in the summer, I do a watermelon fast. I would recommend everyone do that. And I know everybody wants to, go to barbecues and eat just tons of hot dogs and hamburgers and chicken and steaks and all that, which is fine. But at the same time, are you even working that off too? That's another thing. We eat just because we want to. We don't eat based off of what we need, and that's why many of us have excess weight because we're just overeating. So be mindful of that as well. Uh, breath work. So breath work, that's helped me get through my hunger pains, especially my first few 3 day fast or even the 1 day fast. Like that first time, I was like, oh my goodness, bro. I feel like I'm gonna die. I mean, you just feel like that. You're not really gonna die. you, you just your mind plays tricks on you sometimes. The breath work, I would say box breathing, 4 second inhale, 4 second pause, 4 second exhale, 4 second pause. Those that's something I learned from an individual that I met that was in the Delta Force. So I've been using that, and I've seen substantial growth with what I do. And the last one, of course, is going to be nutrient dense foods because you don't need to necessarily eat a whole bunch of food. Like for instance, I can maintain about 180 pounds on drinking a smoothie and not with like protein powder either, but drinking a smoothie with what's in there? There's dates. It's dates, melons, coconut water, berries, and bananas. I have a 32 ounce of that, and then that's at about 12, and then at about 5 or 6, between 5 to 8 p.m. Let's say, I have a meal, be like forbidden rice or wild rice or quinoa, um, arugula, mushrooms, salmon, things like that. And if I eat something later on, it'd probably just be dates. If I get that sugar craving or whatever the case is. And then last but not least, oh, actually, no, we said that. Nutrient dense foods. Well, we were just talking about nutrient dense foods regardless. Um, always be mindful that it's not, well, it's not what you're eating, but it's what you're eating. Well, it's not how much you're eating, it's what you're eating. That's what it is. So it's not about how much, but what exactly. What type of nutrients does this food have? Because if you eat a bunch of potatoes, like just rustic potatoes, it's not gonna, it's not the same as you eating, let's say, some arugula and salmon, and then quinoa or wild rice. It's all about what you can get in the body that's gonna give you the most out of it. All right. So, you guys got any comments? Any questions? appreciate your time. I'm gonna wait a little bit, see if there's anything. Oh, and another thing, always make sure that you're working on your posterior. That's a little gem there. You want to make sure you're working on your posterior because, we give we give babies tummy time, right? But when we get older, like right now, I'm sitting in an anterior fashion rather than a posterior fashion, which means my front side is more dominant than my back side, and you need the back side to stand up. So what we need to do is do a lot more, especially men too, a lot more glute exercises, a lot more back exercises, lower back as well, stretching it out. We need to stop sitting so much, things of that nature. But hey, I appreciate you guys. Until next time, peace and blessings.